Welcome back everyone. This week we're taking you back a little in time. This project actually started earlier in the middle of autumn before Gracie was born. We chose to share the most recent work first with the sloping of the embankment behind the barn along with Gracie's arrival because that timeline felt more natural to share, especially with so much happening all at once. But we'd actually already done some other work before that, and you might have noticed a few clues in the previous video. For this project, my dad came to visit and lend a hand, and thanks to our neighbors who kindly let us use their telehandler, we were finally able to start on the barn roof. This marked the beginning of a big and important phase in this renovation, the start of bringing the old barn back to life. This project will include replacing all the tiles, repairing and reinforcing damaged beams, taking down unstable stone walls and rebuilding them, and eventually creating 2 platforms inside the barn. These will become our living space while the ground floor turns into a workshop. So let's rewind a little, head back to those autumn days and show you how this next chapter of the renovation began. At first we considered sorting the good tiles from the bad ones, either to use them on a smaller roof or possibly sell them. That's why Philippe had gathered all the wooden pallets a few weeks ago. But once a few rows were removed, it quickly became clear that many of them were crumbling. Checking each individual tile on a 200 square meter roof would have been extremely time consuming. In the end, the time it would take simply didn't add up compared to the value we might get from selling them or even using them on another smaller roof later on.
Ja? Ja. Xavier? Nu hè, met het gewicht dat je nu al afhaalt hè, zie ik die charpente zo doen. Zie ik ze lekker opstijgen. Ze is los aan het komen van de rest. Oh, dat is wat we willen hè, maar ik heb het gevoel dat hout is zich nu al aan het...
This wouldn't be Domaine Sauvage if the rain didn't show up at the very moment we decided to start working on the roof. But in a way it was the perfect opportunity to show you around and see how everything behaves in wet conditions. At this point, the embankment behind the barn hadn't been sloped yet, and you can clearly see how the water was still pooling in certain areas where we hadn't laid any stones. The driveway does still show some puddles, but the big difference now is that once the rain stops, they drain away within the hour. And once we add the final top layer of gravel after the barn renovation is finished, those puddles should disappear altogether. Along here we also added a French drain to catch the water and prevent it from flowing towards the buildings. You can see it doing exactly what it's meant to do, collecting water and redirecting it away. The space Philippe cleared between the house and the woodshed has made a big difference too. Instead of water running down the road and straight onto the driveway, it now flows down here and gets caught at the shallow ground gutter, which was the whole idea in the first place.
up. This is a little bit easier now. Probably because I've done it 100 times now. It sucks the amount of times I run a flat tire here, but it is what it is again. It's just someone loved to spray metal and break bottles and I don't know what around here, so that's why I'm constantly repairing tires. But there's not much that I can do about it. And just put a new inner tire on, or if it's a small leak I'll repair it together with Claude. But that's just reality here. Okay, voila, good. Woo.
Right, I took the bucket with the teeth because it's like digging in concrete, because I don't know, 100, 200 years, 300 years, I don't know how long this barn has been here, but a long time. So this soil floor was compacted like concrete. So I'm digging it loose with the teeth. I'm gonna change the bucket now, put the big bucket on to get some soil out of here, and then keep on moving and try to level it a little bit. I'm not gonna go to the definite level that I want, but today is still a good day, and I think tomorrow is gonna be rain again. So as much as I can get out of here now, the better, because tomorrow I probably won't be able to drive the dumper.
C'est pour papy ça, hein? C'est évident encore une. 6. Ja, hop là. Allez, mange là.
So that's 8.8. Let's get another measurement. 8.7, yeah, 8.8. So let's take, if we go 30 in the walls are 70 centimeters thick, so 9.7 meters. That's accounting that they go halfway into the wall. So they will be supported 37 centimeters, which is not bad at all. So this is the other side of the barn.
As mentioned before, we're planning to add 2 platforms, one on each side. One side will become an open plan living room and kitchen, while the other will hold the bedrooms and bathroom. The ground floor will serve as a workshop and finally give us a clean, dry and warm space to store our tools. Once the barn is finished, we can start living here and we'll be able to take on the farmhouse in its entirety.
What I do want to show you is the soil that I'm digging out now is the clay, the yellow soil together with clay, gray soil mixed. But it's almost dry. So what I did outside is working. This is drying out. People who have been following from the beginning know how much water there was, rivers flowing through here 24/7. So this is already a big change, and we don't even have gutters yet. So there's still a load of water falling down on the foundation, on the stones. But this is already a victory because it's been raining 2 weeks again. And this is crumbling. It's not dry yet, but it is crumbling. So there's not a lot of water entering anymore. So it's very, 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 very good sign.
Well, it just got out again. I'm gonna let it rest a little bit, and I need to check the fluid levels, or I might back it up a little bit so it's more straight. And I need to check the fluid level of the hydraulic needs to be topped up a little bit. See, it's not especially, it is lower, but not extremely. But it can't hurt to get it topped up. This should be enough. Okay, let's try again. Hopefully. I just wanted to make sure the hydraulic pump is not running low, that I'm not damaging it. That it's not that's stalling the engine. I don't know if that's even possible, that it stalls the engine. Can you see these divots? It's because here at the end there was most soil added on top. So, and the telehandler was resting here, and the back is the heaviest. So I think the telehandler is 9 ton. So it made it sunk this deep. So you see there's still lots of movement in here. good times. So I sunk. I didn't expect it to happen, to be honest. I expected maybe a little bit, but maybe it's normal because a lot of water that went around went in here, and this is where I put the water pipe in. I'm not afraid of damaging it because this one is a meter deep and is encased in sand as well. What it does mean is I can't drive this up anymore, so I will have to tip it here. I'm not gonna... It always surprises me the amount that I'm getting out of here. Because first it was a cement layer, and then I think the old stone floor for the cows. So I think the old stone floor, they left it in. They put rubble on top, stone rubble, and then they put a fine layer of concrete on top of that. So I'm just taking it all out because it's gonna bother me anyways when I want to put my underground pipes in here. But it is, again, a lot. I've already taken out a load of dumpers, and every dumper is at least 3 tons. So, and 3 tons when you do it level, not piling it up like I do. Another coin, not that old, 1975. Before the euro. 20 centime. Load after load after load after load. And then all the tiles will go in here. I'll have to take those out again as well. That part has to go deeper. That's clean soil. So I think I will use that if needed to bring this up to the same level. And then maybe put a fine layer of sand before I put my plastic in here. I want to put a plastic to separate the moisture that it cannot go into my concrete. So I'm gonna insulate floor heating, concrete on top, and also put insulating boards against the walls so I don't lose any heat towards the walls.